like, guys, I have a confession to make. I'm an alien.
Well, we can still be friends.
I have to put you down.
Don't probe me.
Don't probe.
I'm an illegal alien.
Oh my god.
Dude, too soon.
Too soon.
What?
I think that's interesting, though, that Tyler's like the middle ground. Because Roach and I rarely ever disagree on much. I think aliens might be the one thing.
Yeah.
So, I will partially agree with Roach, which means I would disagree with you. But I would partially agree with you, which means I would disagree with Roach.
So you agree with me?
Because this topic is so...
It's so deep, but I thought...
So you're Switzerland, is basically.
No, so there's this... I had this theory way back when. I may have actually told you guys this before. Mm-hmm. But then I found out that I'm not the only one who had it. So I'm definitely not claiming...
You're not the only crazy one.
I'm not the only nut job.
Yeah.
No, I'm not claiming that I came up with this by any means. That's not what I'm saying. But I listened to this guy's name, Stephen Baincars, and he was interviewing this other guy, and I cannot remember his name. I'm trying to find the video that I was watching so I can get his name on there. But he wrote this book called The Alien Intrusion, and then he also made a documentary called The Alien Intrusion. And I haven't gotten to watch the entire documentary, but I did watch this guy give a 2-hour discussion.
I may have watched the documentary
on this. Is it called The Alien Intrusion?
I think so. So
what this guy's saying, and I agree with what he's saying, because like I said, I kind of theorized this myself. So the problem with aliens and them being here is there's a couple different things. First off, in order for them to be really far out, we're like 4 million light years from our next galaxy, something like that, or our next reachable galaxy. So a light year is 186,000 miles per second, right? So in order for them to have to, remember, 4 million light years away is how close our... So let's just say they're at the closest possible one. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to travel... Either they're going to have to pack up and travel for generation to generation to generation in order to get to us, or they're going to travel at the speed of light, which, according to all the laws of physics, is completely impossible, no matter what spin you put on it or what type of anything.
No flux capacitor can do this.
It cannot be done. And one of the reasons is that if you were traveling, if a speck of dust hits you at half the speed of light, it's like, I think he said 27 Hiroshima bombs going off. That's how much energy is impacted.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So he said for them to travel just like that, completely impossible. If they hit anything, they're done. Space dust is everywhere.
Right.
And if you hit a particle of that at half of the speed of sound or half the speed of light, it'll just obliterate the whole thing. So that was one of the reasons he gave to there's no way that it's possible for them to get here. You can't travel at the speed of light. It's impossible. And even if you could, you couldn't make it. Your ship will just destroy itself.
What is that assuming that they're as technologically advanced as us?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's the laws of physics. You cannot... Because the amount of energy that you would need you would have to burn up so much energy just to get to the speed of light. And so I think Einstein theorized that it would use basically all of the energy in the universe just to get you into light speed, and then it would take the same amount to slow you down.
Yeah.
So in order to stop this thing, not to mention if you were fighter jets and stuff, they hit like 7 Gs sometimes, and they have to practice. Otherwise, they'll black out. Could you imagine how many Gs you're pulling at light speed?
Mm-hmm.
It's so many Gs.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's a lot of Gs.
So, now this is where it gets a little... You're just going to have to hang on.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Hold on, you're getting ready for a lot of Gs.
Hold on to your diapers, babies.
So
we're going in.
So, now he thinks...
Rugrats reference?
There's... So a lot of the real big researchers and stuff that research UFOs and all this kind of stuff, they have all basically come to the conclusion. Now, it's mainstream, but it hasn't hit like. If you haven't heard this yet, coming from the guys that you listen to that podcast, then it's not like that mainstream yet. But it's a lot of the top researchers and stuff. They recognize that it's impossible for this to happen. So one of the things they're realizing is that we never see them enter or exit our atmosphere.
Dimensions.
They only ever appear and disappear within our own atmosphere.
Yes.
Right? So what he's saying is they're materializing and then dematerializing. And a lot of the people are saying that they're going. It's called the interdimensional hypothesis.
Star Trek.
Yeah, no, it's
No, it's Rick and Morty is what it is.
Oh wait, you're talking interdimensional. I'm just
no. So
yeah.
So what he's saying is that
No, they do that on Star Trek.
I don't know. Sure, I've never
Pretty
watched
sure.
Star Trek. I don't think.
Oh boy.
So what
Missing
he's
out.
saying is that apparently there's like so out of 100% of the UFO encounters or the alien encounters, about 5% is unexplainable. So they can explain away the 95%, but 5% is unexplainable. And he said for those who seem legit and who have experienced some sort of abduction, they suffer the same exact symptoms as a person possessed by a demon.
Huh.
So what he's saying is that there's
I like where this is going now.
yeah. So he's saying that they're right, but they're wrong. So they are interdimensional, but they're crossing over in and out of our realm like they always have.
Oh boy.
Okay, and the Bible supports this.
This is
right?
awesome.
He says
I mean,
that-
it's dark, but
Yeah, he said
cool.
way back when, these things would come up to you as fairies or incubuses, succubuses. A lot of like the alien abductees and stuff.
succubi.
They've been like sexually molested, probed, and all that kind of stuff. Like really bad, dark stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently, it's the same exact stories with those who would encounter like fairies, because fairies like aren't like Disney fairies. They're horrible, evil little creatures, right? But he said, but now in the Enlightenment period,
very
if
PC
you
of you.
saw a fairy, you would question your own sanity. So what they've done is they've changed. Now popular culture is aliens, so they are switching their game plan up.
Oh man, that's good.
And playing to the narrative, and they've got everybody fooled.
Huh.
Right?
Well, except for you.
Yeah. No. No. That's not what I'm
The
saying.
all-knowing
No.
Steven.
What I'm saying is, like, from a biblical world, like from the biblical worldview that I hold,
Yeah.
then this is like the only, because so let's travel down this road for a second. Let's just say that there were all these other beings, right? So aliens do exist far, far out.
Right.
So now, do they need to be saved? Does Jesus have to go and die for them? Because when it says that Adam sinned, all of creation was affected. It affected all of creation. So if we believe that God created everything,
Right.
that means all of space and everything it inhabits, right? So that means that they would have to, that even if they never sinned, they would have affected them, which isn't very just, right?
Right.
But the Bible also says Jesus died once and for all, right? So biblically speaking, he only died one time.
Hey guys, we hope you like what you're hearing so far. If you'd like to support this podcast, head over to patreon.com/bitesize mammoth and check out our rewards. 10% of what you donate will go to a charity every month.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Bitesize Mammoth.
Oof.
You know, this is a stretch.
Okay.
I just thought of it as you were saying that.
Mm-hmm.
He is... excuse my ignorance if this isn't proper usage of the word. Omnipresent, correct?
Yes.
What if he was to go to these other worlds that he will never allow us to reach, maybe, and simultaneously fulfilled the same prophecies?
Because, biblically speaking, the entire universe, like when I wrapped my head around this today, finally, biblically speaking, the entire universe, everything was created for us, right? So he's like, this is yours, like yours to explore, yours to look at, yours to, it's basically like when you give your wife a wedding ring, right? It's like it has really no significance other than the dollar amount, right? But it's like it's a reminder You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that they can see and adore and it's like a symbol of your love.
Mm-hmm.
And from the very beginning, everything was for us, right? So now, if that was the case, then you'd have to say that the aliens were for us.
What if they're like pets?
I could get behind that.
Dude, you can adopt them. They're super smart. But all they want is a loving home.
Out of their fingers, I guess.
They're freaking dogs in space.
They're basically slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like...
They're basically slaves, yeah. Well, see, and that's another thing. So the Bible talks about... So God's creative order was that we are above everything, right? So we are actually just below the angels as far as if there was a hierarchy to be talked about. So we would be just below the angels, which is why the enemy is so pissed off because he hates us for it.
Uh-huh.
Right? So if he puts us right below the angels, then an alien life force that is intelligent enough to reach us would have to be more than us.
Not with the Space Force.
see
USMC.
Not with the power of heart.
The power of heart. With our powers combined.
That's what I thought.
I am Captain Planet.
Glad you guys got it. 90s
he's a
kids,
hero.
you're welcome.
It's going to take pollution down to zero. You bet.
I expect you to be dressed as Captain Planet this Halloween,
Dude,
Kevin.
I would.
Hair and all. I'm going to spray paint your
Spandex and
body
everything.
silver.
It's not very good form fitting, I guess. I don't know.
So what do you guys think of that theory?
I like that you just opened my mind up to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you've gotta
can
watch
definitely
the
get behind
That's very
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole stars, like, that's for us to observe, and, like, it's also, like, to get whatever. But, like, back in the day, when they would sail ships and whatnot, they would actually use the stars to chart out and navigate, like, direction
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think all that was within the plan. It's also not just something beautiful to look at, but it's also, like, these stars and everything is up here for a reason for you to look at and go and find your way.
Right.
So I think
Yeah,
that's
you know, and it's...
not necessarily to house the enemy of the Space Force, you know.
Yeah, and as far as like there are other theories and stuff out that, you know, as far as like creating the pyramids and having them be like so precise and stuff, there are other theories out there that seem way more likely than why would you travel? Let's just, even if it was possible, why would you travel millions of light years to be like, you know what you guys need? You need a giant rock pyramid. What?
I thought you were
You know what
going
I'm
with probe.
Yeah.
Did a giant
I
probe.
was like, you know what? Both things.
Well, a lot.
Maybe
a
that's
lot
their
of
way of marking, we were here.
A lot of their testimonies and stuff from the people who have been, you know, quote, abducted or whatever. They said that it's such a reoccurring trend that they show up and they go, by the way, Christianity's wrong. You have it all wrong. So they attack Christianity, try to defame Jesus, and uplift the occult all at the same time.
These people are claiming
Every
that the,
single time.
quote, aliens that abducted them say that to them?
Yes.
I want to watch. This is in the documentary?
Yeah, well...
Okay, this is not the one I watched.
Yeah, no, so this is definitely from a biblical perspective. This guy, I cannot think of his name.
But you have the documentary?
If you look up Stephen Banecars and then look up, like, type
It's a podcast, ain't it?
No, it's a YouTube video.
Oh.
A YouTube
Sweet. I
channel.
like videos better. I listen to podcasts every day, but I also watch YouTube every day. So
Right.
I prefer videos.
we have options.
So it's like...
So spoiled.
I don't know. Welcome to America.
Yeah. So it's... Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I forgot where we were at. But yeah, they basically say those things. They keep saying, like, you got it all wrong. We came here, and you guys thought we were gods because of whatever. And another thing they keep tossing in there was that, like, Jesus, all he did was experience this level of higher intellect. Because another part of, like, because they can't come into this world physically because of like all the laws of physics, right? So like their ships would just destroy themselves. So they're like, what if they evolved into such high beings that they don't need bodies anymore? Right. So that's how they play into this. So they say that like Jesus, all he did was realize that, and that's where he went. He doesn't need a body anymore because he evolved to such a high
He
plane.
unlocked his mind's eye.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's the most ridiculous. This entire topic sounds completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Dude. He opened his mind's eye,
opened
summoned his
mind's
inner
eye,
chi,
bro.
and his
It's
chakra
like,
went.
You can't do it, but I'm making a mind's eye on my forehead.
His chakra went banana ham sandwich,
Yeah,
and it just.
dude. He aligned his chakras and
I
unleashed
am
his
here.
space force.
Whoa!
So basically, what they're getting at is that it kind of undermines the entire biblical narrative if we think that we can possibly obtain some sort of deity in ourselves.
This is cool. So they're singling out. These people are claiming that these aliens are singling out Christianity.
Yes.
Huh.
Because Buddhism and Hinduism and all that kind of stuff, it's all very spiritual, and it's all about getting to a new spiritual level, and it's very much in line with that kind of occult type.
You can elevate
Yeah, well,
yourself.
it's not. I mean, all these, quote, religions aren't necessarily. They don't have a higher power, so to speak. It's more of like self-service.
Yes, it's
Buddhism,
you elevating yourself,
stuff like
to
that.
a
Yeah,
particular level.
It's like open your freaking eye inside your head. The third one.
Yeah, so
Or fourth, fifth, whatever you
so
got.
it makes you the deity of your own life type.
Yes,
deal.
which sounds an awful lot like Satanism. Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would finish my
Sandwiches.
Thank you.
I love my friends.
That's very cool. I really like
So
that.
it's basically my opinion is that it's all demonic, and that there are no aliens. And they put up the whole light show thing, basically just to continue their narrative. Yeah. But this guy's like the guy that I was talking to was like, no, like people actually see it. Like they've apparently got these. If you look up the Washington lights or something like that, Washington UFOs.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some pretty sweet video footage which I have not seen.
It's the Aurora Borealis. It's all aliens.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? Dude, that's actually a pretty cool thing. It's like, I think it's like, it's further up north that you go, like Canada and stuff. It's like the Aurora Borealis is like the sky, like all the colors kind of like refract and
the
stuff.
Northern Lights is what you're trying to say.
Northern Lights.
Thank you.
Yeah. I couldn't think of that name. I only knew it as
I couldn't think of the English name.
No.
The English name.
You talked down to me, Steven.
Sorry, Kevin.
No, you're good.
Goodness.
No, but that stuff, I love this stuff, dude. This is my bread and butter.
Yeah, I've listened to about 3 or 4 hours worth of stuff today.
Yeah.
Alone. So.
But yeah, I mean, aliens are cool.
Yeah, thank you for sticking around for this.
Yeah.
Because it was really out there.
Yeah. Of all people, I did not expect you to bring up aliens.
Yeah,
I
dude.
love talking about aliens, but the thing is that I've always kind of held this belief, but didn't really know how to
Like, put it into
articulate
words.
it and put it into words and all that
That's
kind
super
of stuff.
cool.
Yeah, and this guy does such a good job, way better than I have. And we talked about it for 10 minutes. I mean, I listened.
We talked about it for 20 minutes.
Was it?
Yeah.
I listened to a 2-hour talk just with him, and then an hour and a half talk with him and Stephen Bancars about it.
Yeah.
Stephen Bancars is a he was in the New Age movement, like deep, like astral projection.
Yeah, I know all about that. We
lucid
watched that guy,
dreams.
remember, that was super into it, and then you remember that guy?
So the
The
same
dude
guy?
that
Yeah, Stephen Bancars.
is. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I've
know
showed
who
you
that
him
is.
before.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Have
yeah.
you seen him, Kevin?
No, he sent me a video about
This guy's
astral
super
projection-
cool. He's got
projection.
all these videos that he posted all about it. He was like leading the movement, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, basically, he was running. He was going on. He was at the. Hold on. He was writing for the top website
Yeah.
for the New Age movement, and then he ran his own website. It was third in the world.
He was the man.
Yeah, he was the man.
And
What a man, what a man,
he totally
what a
walked
man.
outside, dropped to his knees, and went, "What is this?"
Yeah. So.
Jesus.
Looks like his third eye got shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like that you said that. But fine.